our ears are attuned to song. Think about the seders that we attended last week. Dayenu sounds very different when we read it opposed to singing it, right? Ilu hotzi hotzi, ilu hotzianu mimitzrayim. Very different feeling to it. Or we get smile and we shep naches when the little ones sing, halayla hazeh, halayla hazeh. It's very different than when you have a 35-year-old who's the youngest at the Seder who doesn't want to do the manishtanas. Manishtana halayla hazeh mikol halayla, right? Very different than halayla hazeh, halayla hazeh. Or when we bench, Birkat HaMazon, grace after meals, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. It's almost universal. And when I bench to myself, I sing those words in my head. I don't say them. So when do we sing? Yeah. Usually we sing when we're happy, or we sing when we're excited, or singing makes us feel good. Think of all the little songs, the really silly songs we sing to babies. It makes us feel good. Or when good things happen, we make up silly songs in our head. I won the lottery, right? We do things like that. Or maybe I just do that, I don't know. I've never won the lottery, but still waiting. I should buy a ticket, it'll help. In the Tanakh, there are many good things, or miracles, that God performs for our ancestors, but they don't sing every time. There's only a few instances when they broke out into song, and we heard 2 this morning. We read in the Midrash in Shmot Rabbah, from the day that God created the world until Israel stood by the sea, there was not a single person who said a song to God except for Israel. God created the first man and didn't sing a song. God saved Abraham from the fiery furnace and from the kings, and Abraham didn't sing a song. It continues, Isaac was saved from the knife, and he didn't say a song. And Jacob was saved from the angel and from Esav and from the men of Shechem, and he didn't say a song. But when Israel came to the sea and it parted for them, they immediately said a song before God, as it says, Az Yashir Moshe Uvnei Israel. Then Moses sang, and the people of Israel. As a reminder, the first pasuk, the first line of Song of the Sea is, Az Yashir Moshe Uvnei Israel et hashira hazot la'Adonai vayomru le'mor ashira l'Adonai ki ga'o ga'a sus v'rachol rama vayam. Then Moses and the children of Israel sang this song to God. They said, I will sing to God, for God has triumphed gloriously. Horse and driver, he has hurled into the sea. The commentary on this verse that has been lifting me up over the last few weeks is from Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev, the Hasidic master known as the Kedushat Levi. This is what he wrote. Joy in one's heart, unless formulated in word and song, is bound to subside and cease altogether in short order. By giving verbal expression to one's joy and composing a song and writing poetry, one prolongs and intensifies this feeling of joy. Or to quote the great jazz singer Ella Fitzgerald, the only thing better than singing is more singing. Those who put together our liturgy for Kabbalat Shabbat on Friday nights, they were familiar with this connection between joy and song. They chose psalms with kavanah, with intention, starting with number 95. Lechu neranena la'Adonai, naria letzur ishenu. Come, let us sing joyously to the Lord. Raise a shout for our rock and our deliverer. The next psalm, 96, begins with Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo. Sing to God a new song. Sing to God all the earth. Sing to God, bless God's name. And then Psalm 98 is Mizmor Shiru l'Adonai Shir Chadash Ki Niflaot Asa. Sing to God a new song, for God has worked wonders for us. And the psalm for Shabbat, that begins with Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat Tov Lehodot L'Adonai L'Zamer L'Shimcha Elyon. A psalm, a song for a Shabbat day. It's good to praise God, to sing hymns, to sing to your name, O Most High. For the architects of Kabbalat Shabbat, there was no better high than bringing in Shabbat with song. And that's why it's full of allusions to singing to God. And sometimes I'm zochet to feel that high from singing found in Kabbalat Shabbat, usually Shabbat at the floor, and it's just the best. Music and song lifts us up. We can see that in the first book of Samuel. In chapter 16, we read that whenever the evil spirit of God came upon Shaul, upon Saul, David would take the instrument and play it. And then Saul would find relief and feel better, and the evil spirit would just leave him. I shared this with Bruce yesterday, day before, who knows, I get lost with days during Pesach. When studying Torah, which is supposed to be enjoyable, we are encouraged to learn in a sing-songy way. And the following is from Megillah, Tractate Megillah, page 32a. Ve'amar Rabbi Shiftaya, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Kol hakoreh belo ne'ima, v'shoneh belo zimra, alav hakatuv omer, v'gam ani natati lahem chukim lo tovim v'gomer. And Rabbi Sheftaya said that Rabbi Yochanan said, concerning anyone who reads from the Torah without a melody or studies Mishnah without a song, the verse states, so too I gave them statutes that were not good and judgments whereby they should not live. As one who studies Torah through song demonstrates that he's fond, or she is fond, of their learning. And similarly, Rabbi Akiva says in Sanhedrin, could be why I love Rabbi Akiva, sing every day. Sing every day. He says it twice, which means review your studies like a song that one sings over and over. And on this, Rashi says that even if one has reviewed his learnings, he should still sing it every day. And that will cause your life in Olam Haba, in the world to come, to be filled of happiness and song, which sounds like an ideal understanding of Olam Haba to me. One more example. In the book of Nehemiah, towards the back of the book of the Tanakh, we read that at the dedication of the walls of Jerusalem, the Levi'im, the Levites, wherever they lived, they were sought and they were brought to Jerusalem to celebrate a joyful dedication. The verse says, with thanksgiving and with song, accompanied by cymbals and harps and other instruments. Because that was a huge moment. It was transitional, it was transformative, and so there was song. We, the Jewish people, till today, we still sing at happy times and celebratory times. What happens when a birthday cake is brought out? I mean, we don't blow out the candles anymore in our post-COVID world, but we still sing happy birthday, I would hope. Let's go back to that Kedushat Levi. Joy in one's heart, unless formulated in word and song, is bound to subside and cease altogether in short order. By giving verbal expression to one's joy and composing a song and writing poetry, one prolongs and intensifies this feeling of joy. As I mentioned on the first day of Pesach, B'nai Israel, the children of Israel, they were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt, and life was difficult. It was the same day in and day out. It was fear and dread and fatigue and hunger. And slavery just kind of stank. Moses and the people, they sang at this moment because it was a moment of epic proportions. They turned around and they watched as the Egyptians sunk into the sea. There was no turning back for them. There was only looking forward. They had a future ahead of them, and Pharaoh was no longer creating their destiny. They sang at that moment as it was a moment of immense change and intense joy. And they sang out to say thank you as well. Ashira la'Adonai ki ga'o ga'ah. And they sang to God because God triumphed. Just imagine turning back and seeing the horses and the chariots sinking on the land that you just passed. Ozi v'zimratya vayhi li lishua. God was their strength and their reason for their song. A nice Jewish boy, we'll call him Gene Simmons, member of the band Kiss, said, "Music is feeling. You can try to verbalize it, but it really just hits ya." He probably said, "Yeah, not you." It really just hits ya, or it doesn't. Well, it sure hit B'nai Israel, and that is why Moshe and the Israelites sang after the sea split, and they crossed to safety because they felt it. Shiru la'Adonai shir chadash. Sing new songs. Sing new songs to God. I think that's what we learned from those guys that created Kabbalat Shabbat for us. Because while the Israelites sang when they witnessed a miracle of unprecedented proportions, I want to encourage us to sing when we witness the smaller miracles too, which happen every moment of every day. And as Rabbi Nachman taught, even if you can't sing well, sing! Sing to yourself. Sing in the privacy of your home. But sing. I thank my parents for naming me Shira Malka.